Hey,
Couldn't hear the music.
what?
You probably did
No,
you probably
I
didn't
didn't
turn
hit
on
share sound today.
you probably didn't
I
turn on
didn't
your
hit share.
share sound.
Do we want to start over again? No.
No, couldn't hear
Okay.
the sound. That's okay.
All right.
That's
Get
our
it on the way
show.
out.
That's what
It's
we
an
do.
ongoing thing.
Get it on the way out. Yeah. Okay. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of astronomy outreach, the astronomy entertainment, actually, the Sunday night astronomy show. Yeah.
Hey!
Hey. Well, glad to be back here in beautiful St. John.
Yeah.
From Florenceville and that messy kind of a show last week. Yikes. It was a remote show, but we get through it, and here we are back in our own studios again. So, well, my name is Chris Kerwin. I'm the creator of the social media channels known as Astronomy by the Bay. I'm also an amateur astronomer and a member of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada. I'm very pleased to welcome back my two regular co-hosts this evening, Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in beautiful St. John. Mike, good evening.
Hey.
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 And I'd like to welcome back our other co-host, Mr. Paul Owen. Looking at you're sitting in the glow there, Paul. A big aura all around your head.
Oh,
But Moon
lovely.
Shadow Observatory in Hampton. Hey,
Very
Hey!
special, that glow.
hey.
Oh,
He's always got a glow around him anyways.
You enlighten us.
it's my halo, man. It's my
Ah,
That's what it is. We'd also like to welcome all of you out there tonight who have been joining us for the local Rogers TV network. Thank you for your support. Of course, everybody from YouTube and Facebook here joining us tonight. Thanks again for coming back onto the show. And tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. Well, anything happened in the last week or so? I guess so. Maybe.
Not much.
Not much, eh? Yeah, not much. Yeah. Waited all my life to see one. But anyway, 6 days ago, everything had changed for all of us. We're out there watching the event. My first totality event, these guys as well, I guess. And for a lot of people out there that have been watching for the eclipse to happen, you all had pretty clear skies in a lot of places. So we're unfortunate for all that. And for those who did catch the partial eclipse as well, it was still a very, very enjoyable event. So we were here to talk to about that experience tonight. Such an unbelievable experience for everybody, and we want to hear your comments as well on how you made out on Facebook and YouTube. Let us know how your event went for you. Also, Bino Bud will be back with another fine binocular target to enjoy. Paul will present another interesting Rosanna's fun facts. This evening, I'm going to have a few of the photos that were shared on my 2024 Total Solar Eclipse page. I haven't downloaded all 500 photos, but I got maybe 100. So we can click through them as we're talking about what the experience meant to all of us as well. So sit back, everybody, grab your favorite beverage, as I always do every week, and enjoy the show with us. And as always, if you have any questions, please post them here. So,
So, yeah, also make sure that you guys chime in and tell us what your experiences were like, and we'd like to hear, how you guys have fared out with it, and what you guys felt out there too. So chime in, and we'll talk about those too.
we're getting comments already. Linnea says, I feel bad for anybody who didn't get to experience totality. Most incredible thing I've ever seen, she says. And Tammy says, can we redo Monday again? That'd be awesome. We can redo Monday in 2045, I guess, is the next
Yes,
time.
that's right.
That'll be another eclipse over Canada. I actually think the 2445 one comes down through the US and it passes over Disneyland, I think. I saw.
yeah, I believe, yeah.
So, yeah. So Disney's
So
already
I'll walk it down to Disneyland.
Disney's already
Yeah.
selling tickets for that one. Yeah. Anyway, guys, so yeah, let's talk a little bit about maybe what I'll do is I'll share some photos as we chat a little bit about how we experienced it. How would that be?
So Deborah says, I found the temperature change was quite noticeable. Also, the shadows were fabulous and lighting was intriguing, of course. Yeah. A lot of people got to see the shadows on the ground too. It seems to me almost more people who were not in totality saw more of that than those who weren't. I guess it's because you didn't have the spectacle that we had, I guess. So we were kind of pointed at that.
Yeah,
But
we're focused in a different direction.
yeah, exactly. Oh, Deborah was in Lockport, Nova Scotia.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, we want to hear how you experienced it. It was an amazing event for the three of us for sure. We had a different kind of experience. We rushed up to Florenceville to take part in the Eclipse Bloom project. We did end up on stage through part of it for narration and stuff. And then we get to get outside around 4:15 and started to witness what was happening above us. So that was the most impressive thing I think I saw was that it doesn't look anything like the pictures behind us, right? I mean,
No,
each of us
no.
here has a different view. I've got kind of totality. Paul's got a lot more glare, a lot more professional photo. There you go. Mine was just a quick capture with the DSLR, quick, okay, then stopped and looked at the eclipse. I took one photo, and Mike got the diamond ring effect. So, but for us, I mean, the sky didn't turn black like that. To me, it was like Mike had mentioned, it was more like a metallic color. It was almost like it was a hood, a hood ornament. Maybe I can call it like an Audi ornament on the hood. It was very polished, kind of a look, like
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
like a moon kind of a look to it. And
yeah.
then the colors around the outside were like a Caribbean kind of green to me, like you would see on the beach in Cuba or something like that. That color of green, and then it kind of blended out to a blue, and then into a purple, and then right into the dark blue for me anyway.
I
But
thought
it was just
everything became super, super crisp. Like it was almost like it was in 8K metallic video
Yeah,
of some sort,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen a picture
Oh,
yet that even comes close,
No.
but it actually looked like to the naked eye. And for me, I didn't know this because it was my first total as well. But you could naked eye the prominences, and that was just unbelievable.
My eyesight's not good enough.
I saw them. I
yeah.
couldn't believe it. I said, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I said, there's red going around that sun. I couldn't really see the prominences per se until I photographed them, but I saw the red on the edges, and I thought, oh man, that's hydrogen alpha.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that you could photograph them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Wow.
it's just, I think on my picture behind
Someone
it,
mentioned to me was almost like, yeah. Someone mentioned to me it was almost like somebody taking a picture of a magazine and put it up in the sky.
Yeah.
It was like
yeah.
a CGI type of an image. It didn't even appear real. Yeah. So for that 3 minutes and 20 seconds or whatever we had, it went by so fast. Just,
Trish writes, chose a quiet spot by a lake, felt nature's reaction, almost got hit by an owl.
Oh, really?
Very confused. So
Wow.
that must have been a hoot.
Oh,
oh no.
Sorry, Trish.
oh.
Sorry, I had to do. It's all I have. Trust me.
And we brought him back from Florenceville, didn't we?
I thought we could leave that behind. Randy
You
says
know what we didn't experience? Seriously, out of all the things we did that week,
humor.
we didn't experience the McCain French fries.
That's true. We did.
No, you're right.
No,
We
we
didn't.
didn't.
We had them out everywhere, and they put us on the other side of the river, away from Potato World. So we did not get McCain French fries.
No. I did have some covered bread chips. They were pretty good.
Oh,
Randy says I was in Western Newfoundland for my fifth total solar eclipse. Had some cloud, but great totality. Fifth one. Wow.
wow.
Awesome. You are an eclipse chaser. Kevin
Yes, sir.
says 94% enjoyed watching the ground shadows from the trees. Yeah, that was a big one too.
Yeah.
Kevin says, good on you, Randy. Here in Yarker, Ontario, it was partial cloud during partial clear. Partial cloud during the partial, clear during totality, and then all cloud for the second partial. I guess the totality part is what matters most. Thank you for the comments. Keep them coming.
But you know what? There's a lot of people talking like, here's one. Mark writes, great 94.1% and didn't have to deal with traffic jams.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? Even the people who got 94% or 98 or that didn't get totality, they still got a show because I mean we remember what was back. I think it was 2017 when we
Yeah.
did the partial,
Yeah.
and it was amazing then. So you can imagine for somebody who didn't even see that before, and saw that way better at 90 whatever percent, how much more that sun would have been covered. So
Oh yeah.
so if you didn't get totality, you still got a show.
And don't forget, we get another show coming up next year in March, so on the 29th of March at sunrise, which is going to be amazing. You're going to see that it's going to be a crescent sun coming up in the morning sky
Yeah,
because
that'll be very cool.
partly eclipsed it.
You know what? That's going to be a really interesting photo op. So if you know that and you can find the right place, I know a couple of guys have been on our show that are going to be doing that for sure.
Yeah.
But that will make an amazing photograph, right? Coming right. Actually, you know what? If the sun came up over the bay where you go,
Yeah.
that would be unbelievable.
It's coming up southeast right there.
Because it'll be that nice reddish, just amazing colors, and all kind of broken up a little bit till it gets a little higher up. And then, the picture of the bay, now that would be amazing, time lapse and everything.
Anywhere along
There you
the
go.
bay.
There you go. We have a date.
All done. Registered. Also, all but. Let me share a few photos here while we're talking about our experience over it. Anyway,
Yeah.
just going to share some. So I didn't get. I didn't get all the photos, but I got a number of them. So we'll go through some of them here. Start with this one.
That's awesome.
That's the partial eclipse that they caught up in, I think it was Bucktoosh area.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, that was the tasty one. That was.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna flip through them. I mean, I'm not gonna name.
Yeah. You know what? Why don't we read some of the comments as you flip through those?
Yeah, that's good because I didn't put people's names on these, and I asked people, look, I may be sharing photos, so, but I just thought it was a common experience for all of us to be able to share. So I thought this might be just to great to just to flip through some of them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tammy writes, can we read? No, I said that. We got clouded out. Where was it? I just saw one. Oh yeah, here we are. For me, it was the sights coming out of and around the edge of the moon that made it so incredible. That was from Lena. I hope I said that correct. Mike, you got a couple there you want to read off?
I was just looking at beautiful clear skies in Kingston, PEI. Totality took my breath away. We watched the darkness fall on the fields below us. That was from Barbara Bovaird, I guess. That
Okay.
was cool in PEI, yeah.
And Heidi Munn writes, I was in Allardville, New Brunswick. I also think the temperature changed. Also, it seemed to be more windy. Did we ever got that one? Not sure if that was related or just coincidence, but it was amazing to see. You know what somebody hasn't mentioned yet is how the birds went quiet. Now, when I was up there was a friend of mine who was taking photos up there, her and her mother, and that's what she had mentioned right away. She said, I couldn't believe all of a sudden all the chirping and all the singing just stopped.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was really cool.
And the temperature change, yeah, big temperature change.
It
Yeah.
was. I was expecting the wind to follow it, but it didn't. It didn't. The wind stayed down, but the temperature definitely dropped. I got some nice shots there.
That's a nice shot right there. That's pretty close to what I can remember. But
Yeah, you can see the
more.
Jupiter and Venus.
Yeah, Venus
Yeah.
down here. They're up top, yeah.
Jupiter, yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Now you're
So,
talking.
yeah.
That prominence was huge.
I couldn't
Right.
believe you could see that, right? That's
Yeah.
Jason Dean's shot, isn't it?
I think so.
Next one, yeah, that one there, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You could probably fit 3 years in that prominence alone.
I think
that's
so.
what they
Yeah.
say, yeah.
So there's some, and a lot of people
So,
got the partial too. So
Denise writes, perfect view from my back deck in Moncton. Grandkids age 9, 7, loved it. We cooked burgers and had a wonderful family afternoon. Birds flocked up in the trees during totality. And the kids are still talking about the eclipse this weekend. They said that the kids were all talking about it at recess on Tuesday at school.
oh really?
Very cool.
It was one from,
Do you remember Annie from Moncton?
Yeah, yeah,
So she writes, and in fact, she faxed me right just well, almost when totality was going on, and she shot a picture of, she did a selfie of her with that picture in her telescope. It was
yeah.
awesome in her camera. Anyway, she writes, I saw the celestial event from the comfort of my home in Dieppe at 99.7%. I now understand why people travel all over the world to see this incredible show. Fascinating facts. Friends confirmed to me that the geese were honking when we were in the shadow of the eclipse, and the ducks were also diving into the water. Never thought in a million years that I'd be able to take a picture of a solar prominences still on cloud nine.
hmm.
So she says, so who's coming to Spain in 2026?
Well, that's not that far away.
There's one here, Ann Bardot says, we went to Lincoln to see the full eclipse. We noticed a few minutes after the full eclipse that the air had the strong smell of ozone. It smelled amazing. That's
Really?
awesome. I never noticed a smell difference.
No. Well, I did when Chris moved away.
Yeah, well, that was, yeah. When he went up to do that dance in the field there. Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing the dance at race. Doing the happy dance. I was doing my happy dance.
Kathleen writes, I started a new job in January, and the first thing I did was ask for the afternoon off on April the 8th. I got my husband to take the afternoon off too, so we got to watch totality from our driveway. None of us will ever forget it. Incredible experience. So happy to keep sharing it with everyone, though looking at all the photos. Or while looking at all the photos, we had a Merlin call out and land near us during totality.
Wow.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of stories, isn't there?
Oh,
Everybody witnessed it in their own separate way, though. As I was telling the people at the club meeting last night, when totality was going on, I kind of looked across the field, and it brought me right back to seeing pictures of Woodstock. There was a lady, must have been an elderly lady, in this flower power dress. She had the ring of flowers right around her head, and she was up there doing this dance back and forth and just soaking in every second of it. And I just went, wow, man, everybody, takes this in differently, and that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Eclipse of the cat.
Felix.
The cat's not looking out the window. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's very cool. That reminds me of just what you talked about, Mike.
Yeah.
It's sort of that whole,
taking it all in dance and stride. I don't think she was wearing it like earbuds or anything. Just taking in the moment.
Look at the kids.
That's awesome.
I love the pie plates ideas. Yeah. I mean, they went over really well.
That's fantastic.
They should have had the masks on though, so they didn't get that V burn all the way down to their chin.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop sharing here. I'm gonna pop it up on another screen because I'd like to see the YouTube comments are coming in too. So just bear with me.
Yeah. Okay.
Across. And where are we at now? Right down here. Okay.
So Lise Landry says our beagle
yeah.
the beagle howled during totality.
So did I.
Now that's cool. That is cool. I kept thinking there was a hole in the sky. So this is Diane DeGray. She says, I have been an amateur astronomer for 40 years. Plus, I have an astrophysics degree. And although I thought I knew what to expect, I still had zero Zippo, no idea what to expect. I was speechless, totally surprised, and the emotional reaction that I had. And I kept thinking there was a hole in the sky. And this comes from Diane DeGrace. That's fantastic.
Wow. That's a cool shot.
Yeah. Daniel says that we were in Rogerville at Roger Petrie's house. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Roger had a bunch of people up, didn't he?
Yeah, along with 50 others, he says. Lots of Rask Rask Halifax at the Rogersville Community Center. Also saw Rask members from across Canada. Amazing day. Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Roger, we did have a big eclipse party in his driveway, and he was right in the center of the path, right? So yeah,
I saw some pictures of that. It was awesome. Jennifer Day writes, yes, all the birds were quiet, but at the moment closest to totality in my region, barred owl started hooting, coyotes yipped, and a pileated woodpecker started drumming. They were definitely confused by the eclipse. Wow, that's fantastic.
All the pigeons were running around my backyard saying, "Get your glasses on."
I love this, the leaves, eh?
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah. Right through the trees, it must be.
There's a lot of that shadow dancing apparently happening too on
Yeah.
the snow. Yeah. There's the image over the top of the New Brunswick area.
One of them, yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
Sophie's.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, she did a great job on that.
So it was Derek said our chicken surprisingly didn't react this. On here. Capture.
Sheila writes, Sheila Nicholson, I was sad not to have the Eclipse glasses for our family in 2017, just the cereal box setup, but 2024 definitely made up for it.
There. I love the amount of people that were taking advantage of that idea for the paper plate idea.
Yeah, yeah.
That kids' eyes and stuff. So yeah.
Well, ceramic plates are hard to cut the holes in.
Yeah. Now this woman here, she had her 91-year-old mother out with her.
Wow.
Look at that, eh? Isn't that wonderful?
Catherine, yeah.
Wow.
That was there's another pipe plate.
There you go.
Nice collage there.
Yeah, this is
There's a
all
cool setup.
This is
That's
cool.
really awesome, isn't it?
I like that.
I think Kurt was showing me that setup that they put together.
Great idea.
I was watching on the news.
There we are. That's what yeah.
Awesome.
Look at all mirror machine all written across the
Yeah.
top.
That's incredible.
Oh, look at that.
What a great job.
Yes, sir.
There's a party group right there. They were
Yeah.
having a good-
That's pretty cool.
Let's look at that. The street light's on. Go back, Chris.
Oh yeah.
The street light was on. A lot of people saw that and mentioned that the
Yeah,
lights were turning on, right?
they're on automatic. Yeah.
That nice prominence there. Yeah. There's a cool shot.
Oh, look at that. A smiley face. on
Smiley
it.
base. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just about into total. Either that or it's just coming out, one or the other.
Oh. Another group of pipe plates.
That's nice.
Hmm.
Look at that. Look at that. And that's something that I didn't do. And I think a lot of it was because of that we had buildings around us. But to have a look at the curtain all the way around, eh?
Yeah.
Bill Richards says, my grandkids and family came from Halifax to Fredericton to see the eclipse. They were amazed at the shadows. The edge of them were so sharp. We all had our eclipse glasses, but they crowded around my Sea Stars screen. We had a magnified image without the risk of sun blindness. Good idea.
There you go.
This guy came in a little bit early. He said he could set up, made sure he was going to be there. And when he got there, there was very, very few people. So
Wow.
picked a good spot. The whole family out enjoying it. Got their glasses with them. And even Weldon hats.
There you go.
go.
Iron Man.
Oh, also, I want to put a shout out to a gentleman that we met when we were at the arena. And I had no idea that he watched our show. He came over and started chatting us up a little bit. And then he spent actually the whole time with us down at the Eclipse, took our photos, sent us a bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
Paul Krim.
Paul Kriegman. So Paul, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to meet you.
Mm.
And we absolutely had a ball, and we appreciate everything that you did. And
Yeah.
we hope to keep in touch with you. And it was an amazing weekend, Paul. So thank you for all of that you did for us.
That's
Yeah,
all.
absolutely.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, they put the boxes. Yeah, it's a safe way to view the eclipse. some fantastic images here for sure.
Oh, lots of them. Yeah.
Yes. Do you remember the family we met at the
Pizza Delight or
Light?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, well, it turns out that Paul met them too, and he's got
Oh,
photos
really?
of them. Yeah, he's got
Wow.
photos of them. And he posted it up on his page, and I said, "Oh my gosh!" I said, "I can't believe it. We had pretty much had lunch with that family."
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they traveled 25 hours to get there, as I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's
They went 3 different places in the States and finally came up here.
yeah. Yeah.
And what a nice family, eh?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those big prominences, they were really prevalent for a lot of people.
It was unbelievable.
I'll scroll through this a little bit quicker here because I want to get on with the program, but still the amazing shots that people had, the amazing opportunities that people had, it was a once in a lifetime event. I'm sure for a lot of us, it was my only, this guy had captured the temperature and stuff, but there were 3 or 4 other shots too, showing how deeply it dropped.
It changed 2 degrees, didn't it?
I think it was at least that. Yeah. Shot. Oh yeah. This one.
I love this. I love that. Oh, that's fantastic.
So anyway, yeah, it was amazing. Bridget says was in New Maryland at our nephew Jay Legier's. He and his wife were amazing hosts and gave us such a great experience with gathering of family and friends. It was so neat to see and hear their reaction.
Oh,
Says in Fredericton, we entertained my uncle in Matante from near St. John, some neighbors and friends, and my son, an 83-year-old father from Halifax, come up. Great day indeed. Awesome. So yeah, it was. I'll never forget it. Like that 2 minutes or 3 minutes and 20 seconds burned right in my mind, and I just won't get over that. But
Do you mind if I share the screen for half a second?
please, yeah, go ahead.
I just want to show these. A lot of people, the reason that we went up there was for this balloon project.
Hmm.
I just wanted to show a couple of shots. That was the balloon at launch. That was pretty cool. And on the way up, it started. These pictures aren't the greatest, but it did photograph a bunch of stuff on the way up. There's the bridge going across the St. John River. I had one here. I must have lost it. Oh, this one. I thought this was cool. Why did you not come up? No, this one. There it is. The balloon took a selfie.
oh, look at that.
There's a shadow. That was the coolest thing.
Wow. Yeah.
That's the camera setup they had on board that was going to photograph the total eclipse.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Where is
yeah.
it? Just show
Yeah.
a couple more. These are a few shots that it took when it got up there. That's pretty cool, man.
Curvature of the earth, eh?
Yeah,
Wow.
that was just incredible. And there's one more I wanted to show right here. Let me get this larger. It landed.
And
They got it.
I guess it was a land in Fredericton, eh?
Just outside of Fredericton, yeah, a little bit north of Fredericton. I actually found the spot on Google Earth where it landed.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Safe and sound. It wasn't broken. They got all their parts, and everybody was a happy clam. But that's the reason we were up there, was to work with this group and narrate what was going on with the balloon launch. Even though unfortunately the balloon launch was delayed a little bit.
Yeah. It was funny because we get up. We were supposed to start talking at 3, and the balloon was going to launch at 3:15, which would give us time to talk it up. And it didn't go up till, well, it must be close to 4 o'clock. And it started to show a little bit of video, but they were still having a hard enough time getting the wind and stuff to deal with it. So we had to entertain a bunch of people in the ring for a long time, and it was really great because there's some folks out there that had these amazing questions. And what still is in my mind more than anything out of that was the young family sitting down the front with the 2 kids.
The kids dressed up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
That was awesome.
they were saying, and he was going to be an astronaut when he grows up. That was it. And the little girl, she said, "I think I'm going to be an astronaut too." Well, I don't know, maybe not.
One that got me was the lady that made the poor little fat guy run all the way up the
Oh,
stairs. And that gracious lady that took over the microphone and carried it up there for me. She was a sweetheart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You didn't have to climb the stairs, did you?
No, I got lucky.
Paul Creelman's on here, said thanks for the shout out there. Lovely, love the variety of shots tonight, and a treat to meet you. You as well.
Yeah.
She asked us what was similar or different from what you three expected.
What's that again?
What was similar or different than what you three
What we expected? Well, I to me, I think I didn't know what to expect because I've never been under totality, but I did not expect the prominences. And when they came out, because I just didn't research it, obviously, because when they came out, I think that's kind of a normal thing for totality, but I didn't know that, and that's one of the things that I think excited me the most. That and then seeing the planets in the daytime was really, really cool, naked eye. And just watching, I think Mike and I were talking about watching how the colors
Yeah.
changed a lot on the ground and how the shadows, like you start watching the ground and it just took on this almost eerie kind of a look. So those are the things that that I wasn't expecting and I was absolutely thrilled to see.
How would you, Mike?
Yeah, Paul had just mentioned it, the colors. Like I said, that I'm not articulate enough to explain what I saw, and it just, like I said, it felt metallic and super high definition and crystal clear. And it just blew me away. That, and it looked like somebody put a bowl over top, and you could just see the light in the horizon all the way around, and then dark right above that all the way up, and to see, like you said, planets during the daytime like that. No, that's incredible. Just
Yeah.
For me, it was
actually stepped away from the camera. I had to step, I even told Paul, if you don't get away from the camera, I'm going to boot the leg over. I think we stepped back at the same time and just, oh.
Yeah, it was an awe-inspiring experience for me. It was just, I was overwhelmed. I was overcome. I'm still a little bit emotional over the whole thing. I know it was just, my lump was right there in my throat, just thinking, I'm actually witnessing this. Like, this is, now I can understand why there are eclipse chasers. Like, I know now why they do it, and I want to be one. There's no question. Just to spend that 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and I did spend a little bit of time. Like, I did catch on the color changing. I saw the grass changing from green to almost like a brown. And then the color on the building went from like a red to an orange, and the colors weren't true colors. Like, they weren't the colors that you would expect to see with your eyes. The trees were different colors, and then that sharpness that you had, and then it almost went like to a black and white type of a view. But then when totality hit, it hit so fast. Like, just that last 15 or 20 seconds when it led up to Bailey's beads and into the diamond ring and then Bailey's beads, that sky just darkened so fast. And then I turned around, told people to start taking their glasses off. I was making sure that people were getting the view instead of me taking a look myself. But then finally, when I turned around and looked up, it was like Mike said, it was like almost like a high definition image staring in it. Just overwhelming, just completely overwhelming experience. And for those who didn't get to totality, I know the experience was close, but you'll see now why it's so important to try to get that extra little bit of a distance if you can, the next go around. And the next go around, they're like, again, there's one in 2026, there's one in 2027. So they do happen about every 18 months somewhere on the planet. And there's actually one in South America, just across the southern part of South America, I think this time in 2024 in October, but it's not a total, it's an annular. It still would be quite an experience to see, but I can see now why people do this, for a hobby to get around, because that 3 minutes is it's astounding.
I was talking to someone today that follows the page, and he was on while you were on your live feed, and he said to me, he said, we were all standing there listening to him. Oh, he said, take the glasses off, do this, do that, and he said, but his phone wasn't pointed at the sun.
I was looking at the sun. I wasn't concerned about the cloud anymore.
But your phone was up and it was just below.
Yeah, just below.
Yeah, Venus was coming in and out of focus, and the phone was trying to focus on poor Venus.
Yeah, it was a once in a lifetime opportunity to offer it live, and it didn't work.
They said they were yelling at their phone and everything. Turn your phone up. Turn your phone.
At that point, I couldn't care what if anybody was watching. It didn't matter.
Exactly.
That was my moment, I think. So I just said, after all the years I did outreach, I'm gonna take a moment for myself. And I'm glad I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Glad I turned around and looked up. And I'm sure everybody on here would feel the same way. Um, yeah, just an overwhelming experience. We're all very happy that we did it, and we all can't wait till next Monday when there's another one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, we should think about a bino bud because we're getting
Yep. I think we're time. So let's get an albino butt, Mike.
All right, I'll shove this over here and I'll hit this here. Why aren't you working? Okay, and I'll find a way to share screen here. This will be screen number one. This one. All right, we should have a bino butt up in front of us.
Okay.
All righty. And you might get a chance tonight to actually see this, but binocular target of the week this week by Bino Bud is Messier number 3, not the Messier.
Well, when you saw our room when he left, that's what everybody said.
I think it was more crumbs when I went in than when I left. But anyway, Messier number 3, or NGC 5272, is a globular cluster of stars in the northern constellation of Canis Venices. It was discovered on May 3rd, 1764, and was the first object to be discovered by Charles Messier himself. Messier originally mistook the object for a nebula without stars. Many amateur astronomers consider this to be one of the finest northern globular clusters of them all. So how would I find it in the sky? Well, you step outside tonight at 10 o'clock, orient yourself 90 degrees to the east, you look up, you can't miss Boötes and then the bright star Arcturus. Just come straight up from Arcturus and you'll hit it. Or you can look, I think it's Coma Berenices. You find the V of that and then find the center star over here in Boötes and come down from both and it splits them two about right in the middle. So what will it look like? Well, it's not going to look like this in binoculars, but it is a beautiful globular cluster, a lot of stars, very tight, and it's nice and bright. And you'll know that it's a globular cluster when you put your binos on it. 10 by 50s, this is what it's going to look more like, a super, super bright star, but you can make out that there's some, it's fuzzy around the edges. Compared to the full moon, well, I'd see it's about the size of Mercuricium, maybe. So, I mean, you can see that easily in binoculars. You should be able to see M3 in binoculars as well. And are you ready for this one? Why don't aliens eat clowns? Because they taste funny. Yeah, bad one.
Okay.
That's binocular target of the week by Bino Bud.
What? Okay. Thanks, Mike. I think. Messier 3 is a nice glob though, for sure. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Paul, let's get into it over then.
All right, let me see if I can pull this off a little bit
Let us
better
come
than
back next
we
week.
did last week. All right, let me share my screen, and this is this week's
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Yay! Welcome back, Rosanna. And it's good to see your whole face and the whole thing again, as opposed to last week. So we'll make you proud this week, Rosanna, I swear. Okay, so Rosanna writes, hi, Paul. So the world stood still metamorphically on April the 8th with the focus on the fabulous eclipse we are all so lucky to see. The eclipse on, just 1 sec here now, I gotta figure out how to do this. 1 sec. There we go. There we go. So the eclipse on April the 8th, 2024 may hold the record for the most watched totally solar eclipse in history. Hundreds of millions of people were within driving distance of totality, and tens of millions more watched live streams of the eclipse online. This is not me exaggerating. There are a lot of people on this planet. The world is now inundated with photos of all kinds, so I will just include one I thought was pretty cool of the crowd outside Neil Armstrong's museum in Ohio. And that's the photo right there of all those people outside of Neil Armstrong's museum. Another cool thing on April 8th that perhaps some lucky sky watchers managed to catch was a glimpse of the comet. And comet Soho 5008 disintegrating as it passed near the sun. So lucky sky watchers might have also seen a tiny sun grazer comet, which disintegrated as it passed near the sun. And that was kind of right there. And I think Jason Dane had alerted everybody to look at their photos because they might have seen that. And I think Tim Doucette actually found a picture of it. So that was very cool. Now it's time to wonder about, let me make that big enough. There we go. Now it's time to wonder about perhaps what we may have missed in the prelude to the fabulous moment. Now, while we are gearing up for the eclipse, the jealous polar vortex was trying to get our attention. Our friend PV pictured a giant super fast hurricane permanently chilling above the Arctic that spins counterclockwise at speeds exceeding a Category 5 hurricane, keeping the coldest air trapped around the North Pole. Now, this chart is slightly exaggerated in order to show you how the vortex extends across the different layers of the atmosphere. It pulled a surprising U-turn. The polar vortex unexpectedly reversed its direction on April the 2nd. The polar vortex does reverse occasionally, causing dramatic weather effects. When I was your age, polar vortexes were twice as cold and started in August. Sure, Grandpa. Reversal used to be as less common, sometimes every other year, but as the stratosphere warms up, the polar vortex weakens, which causes a strong PVE, that's a polar vortex event, and the reversal is becoming more frequent. April's dramatic shift is one of the most extreme ever recorded and has scientists buzzing. Now, while past disruptions of the vortex have triggered brutal cold snaps in the US, this is a picture of Lake Michigan icing up caused by the polar vortex dipping south in 2019. And just this past January, a polar vortex sank over Western Canada, plunging the region into near record-breaking temperatures. Edmonton, Alberta saw temperatures go as far down as minus 46 degrees Celsius and an added bitter wind chill of minus 58 degrees. And this is from the Banff Sunshine Village, this image that you're looking at there. So scientists have predicted minimal impact on weather patterns. As for why the recent switcheroo took place, the culprit is a phenomenon called the sudden stratospheric warming, or SSW. In a nutshell, the stratosphere, the upper layer of our atmosphere, experienced a surprising burst of heat due to primarily to the absorption of the solar ultraviolet radiation by ozone. Our good old sun is the star of the show again. If he is a bit backstage for this time. The good news, this reversal likely won't bring a blast of Arctic air to any of our doorsteps. We may actually have higher than normal temperatures. The bad news, the swirling vortex is gobbling up ozone from the lower latitudes, creating a record-breaking ozone spike over the North Pole. Fortunately, the ozone surge will disappear once the vortex returns to normal. So go ahead and start planting your peas outside. It's not global warming, silly. I bought it. It's a plastic plant. And that is this week's
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Oh, thanks, Rosanna. Oh my gosh, she's so timely. It's so
I
fantastic.
actually had some people asking me if the polar vortex reversal had anything to do with us having the nice weather for the eclipse. So I said yes.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Your mic's off, Chris.
I did that on purpose so I wouldn't be typing in. Yeah. Yeah. It would have been the same thing with Banff. I know that they did get quite cold out there this year. Their winters was a little brutal for sure. Thank you, Rosanna, for another great fun fact. We're still a few minutes, guys, away from closing. So, any further thoughts on this, or you see, Diane DeGrasse said, "I loved hearing grown men expressing their emotional reactions to the eclipse." Thank you for your openness. Dr. Phil would be proud.
That's awesome.
It was a very emotional experience. There's no doubt. And I think anybody who took it in, no matter if you were in, like, I don't think it mattered if you were a crowd of one or a crowd of thousands, you still would have had the same overwhelming experience because it's something that most of us today probably wouldn't have ever witnessed in our lives. You know, there is one on here that's, you know, almost like winning the lottery. They're seeing it 5 times, of course. But for the most of us, we would have never had this opportunity, let
Oh,
alone, you know, in lifetimes we get to see it. So
Annie
go
was
ahead.
asking, Annie says, will we be able to see your photos, guys?
Yeah, we could show a couple, I guess. We could.
Well, there's mine behind you
Chris,
or
do
behind
you
me.
have
Yeah,
those photos handy that Paul took of us?
you guys have them on your messages. I can't, if I try to bring them up, I'll
Okay.
drop out on the
You
Facebook
talking
Live.
about the ones inside?
No,
Yeah.
you got some photos, Mike, you want to share? Because I'll find these ones.
Okay, yeah, I can quickly.
It came on, I sent to you guys on Messenger. If I open up Messenger right now, I will drop the Facebook feed.
Yeah, no, I'll find it.
So the version of the picture behind me here, screen to share. This is the one of the diamond ring that I caught, and like Paul said, to see these coming off the side of the side, you could see the red. It was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe I got this shot. It just it blows me away to think that I got that shot. There's my totality that I got, and I was adamant that I was gonna try to catch some sunspots. So here's as the eclipse was coming over, I got sunspots and facula. I was quite impressed with the detail I could get out of the sun with the camera I used. And here's one more as it was leaving. You can just see this sunspot, it's coming back out. But to see, you know, catch the facula and stuff down here, a little sunspot there, I thought that was the coolest thing. So I was quite pleased to get that put together. Oh, and I had share one more. This is the collage that I put together from start to finish.
Oh, nice.
So, and again, you can see the sunspots. Quite pleased. The slivers turned out pretty good. My second diamond ring wasn't as good as the first diamond ring, but I'm happy with it all. Just to be able to get it, and I didn't miss a single second of totality. I was looking up and watching it, and just squeezing the button on the camera.
Yeah. Okay, I've got those photos I'll show as well. And let me see if I can, let me know if you see these okay. Can you see that all right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, there's me taking a picture in the background.
So you kind of paid attention up there. But these are the shots that Paul took. And there's the three of us there. And you can see in my camera, I've got a little bit of partial going on there.
Yeah.
And then we had some folks out around us, and I was showing them. Obviously, it was still partial because the sun is still out on the ground. These folks were just absolutely amazed. They just loved what they saw, had a great time. There was another shot getting a little closer to totality. There's a shot of Mike inside the rink, getting ready to do the thing.
Yeah, look on Buddy's face beside me.
This gentleman had a really interesting question, and anyway, so we chatted it up. So while Chris was explaining everything, I just kind of knelt down on the stage and had a long chat with him. He's a really, really nice man, and we had a great old chat. He was a really, really cool guy. And there's Paul right there, Mr. Creelman with the astronomy or with the Sunday Night Astronomy Show gang, and see our new swag.
Yeah,
check out our jackets and check out our hats, and we all got it there. But we were sitting there just waiting for the event to happen. We're having a cup of coffee. As you can see, Kim's always shows up in the picture.
almost got hit by Chris Hadfield.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, he came out driving up by himself. And there's Chris on stage. All three of us were up there yakking away, and this was Chris talking about who knows what. And the balloon was actually at this point in time. You can see the time was starting to fire up and get ready to be launched. So it was getting close to tea time, and then we of course took off outside after that. And there's the three of us up on the stage just chatting away. And Mike was talking about I don't know what he was talking
I
about.
have no idea.
Yeah, I think you asked somebody to get you a coffee or something. I
It
don't
could
know.
have very well been. Yeah. Is there a Timmy's around here that's open?
We did find it, didn't we?
Yeah.
And those were the shots.
Yeah, so Sheila asks, what was that? Was that at the Civic Center where we reviewed the film? Yes, it was. Yeah, just
Yeah.
outside North Carleton Civic Center.
Yeah, in fact, that was the stage that James Mullinger and Chris Hadfield were on, and it was a nice rink. The sound crew and video crew did an absolutely wonderful job in there. And it's funny for a little town that doesn't have a whole lot going on a lot of the time, for the amount of people there and for all the things that were going on, they really pulled that together very, very well. It was so well organized. I can't say enough about how I was impressed by how they handled the whole affair. So
Tammy says, I'm glad I listened to Chris when he said, if you can get to totality, go, you won't regret it. Drove from Memron Cook to Cape Lumiere. It keeps moving around on me here in my comments. We had just over 3 minutes and nothing but amazing. Glad I also got my little brother to listen to his big sister to go there as well. Being on the beach and seeing the sunset was very cool. So I'm very glad you listened as well, Tammy. I'm glad that a lot of people took my advice and went to see it. And I know there were a lot of people that asked me, is it really worth going? Like, really, I got to drive that extra 5 minutes down the road. Yes.
Janice is asking, what did you do to wind down after the event? We went to Pizza and Light.
We haven't yet.
And ate because we were starved.
Yeah.
So what's open up here? Pizza and Light. Okay, let's go to Pizza and Light. No French fries. That's
And,
I'll just give you
Yeah,
one more
yeah.
share. I'll do one more share for you. I'll just let me find my pictures first. I'll share what the photos that I took as well. 21 Eclipse. There we go. All right, now I'll find how do I get back to whence we started right here, I guess. Share screen. Let me get that up first here. There we go. I'll just share a few of them. The ones that I like the most. Okay, now how do I get that picture up? Must be this one. Share. Okay. So one of the cool ones was just a sec here. I don't know where the picture is going to show up. Oh, it showed up over there, of course. Just one sec. There we go. Let me know if you see this photo.
Yeah, drag it over there. You are.
Okay.
Your business.
Yeah. So this was my very first shot. So when we got outside of the arena, we threw our cameras down, found our focus, did what we had to do, and it was already at this stage when we left the rink to get out and shoot this. So again, like Mike said, you can see all kinds of detail, the sunspots, the facula, the granulation, all of that was there, and of course the moon was creeping up. And let me just see what else we got. Then there was the diamond ring that I got, and this is what really got me just wowed at this sun was the fact of all of these prominences. And of course, those are just popping right off the sun. And you look at that along with the diamond ring. If I wanted to process a little heavier, you could probably see a little bit of the moon, the earth shine on the moon. But I really that really stuck a chord with me, that one. And that was just some stuff when I was making up a collage. Let me just find the other one here. Whoops. I made up a little necklace collage.
That was nice. I like that one.
So again, of course, starting to the faces that we got it, right down to where it slipped into the diamond ring, and then of course into showing its corona. And there, let me see. Just one sec here. I'll go back one or two. I don't know if that's the best one I got, but anyway, there's one there. And this was the closest that I could see and try to emulate that my naked eye saw. It wasn't, I didn't see details and all the finite stuff. I just didn't see that. This is kind of what I saw. And I did see, at this point in time, I didn't see the prominence sticking out from the sun, but I did see the red around the sun, and that's when I said to myself, "Oh my gosh, look at that! We're actually seeing hydrogen alpha off of the sun with the naked eye," which is I couldn't believe it. And then of course the corona, that was of course the star of the show. Looking at that for the length of time that we were able to look at it. I think we're with 3 minutes 20 seconds. Is that what our was our
Give or take a second or two, yeah.
yeah. And so that was those are kind of my shots anyway. But I got more, but those are the ones that kind of stuck with me.
I mean, there's hundreds of photos out there right now and images, all galore of what we're seeing between the three of us as well. And everybody wanted to get that, like Paul and Mike. I was convinced I wasn't even going to take a photo because I can never match these guys what they do. So I said, well, I'll just share your photos. That's what I'd like to do anyway. I'm more in the outreach side of things, but they convinced me to take one photo. That was that one behind me, the side.
Yeah.
And it's untouched at this point. It's just right off the camera. But I'm kind of glad I do have the one memory to say, that was from me. But the memory of what your eyes witnessed and what the crowd was witnessing to me was overwhelming. Like that was the experience for me. I would have loved to have been, right downtown Fredericton because they had thousands down there and everybody screaming and yelling.
But you know what?
It's so nice.
You know what's even bigger than that is for one moment or for up to however long the longest moment was that we had totality. Everybody in North America was looking at the same thing and getting all of these mixed reactions and this emotion and this being wowed by this amazing event. When else would we ever see such a thing happen? So globally.
It's to try to do that, to try to get that instilled, that kind of happiness into people more often, right? If we could only do that more often, I mean, too bad there wasn't an eclipse every day. I guess it wouldn't be that special then, but just for the reaction of people to understand that, to understand our place in the universe and these things are happening above our head. There's nothing we can do to change them. Tomorrow morning, no matter how bad your problems are, the sun's going to rise in the east and it's going to set in the west. That's just the way it is. Same as what's happening here. This magical thing that we can predict them hundreds of years in the future still right now, but to have one celestial body pass in front of the other body and give that much of an effect to us shows how little control we have over what the universe gives us, right?
Yeah.
And it lays itself with our feet every night. All we got to do is look up, right? So
out of all the photographs I took, and I'm very extremely pleased and I'm breathtaking by the shots of the eclipse. But the one shot that I actually took that I liked, if I could just share quickly, while we were waiting for the eclipse to come, somebody yelled, "Hey, there's the balloon going over our head."
Oh yeah.
It was launched 7 kilometers away from where we were, and
Yeah.
there's a shot of it going over our head. So I think I got an email, or I posted this, and somebody from the balloon group actually said they think that's the only photograph other than the launch
is that right?
of the balloon. So
That was fantastic. I remember you spinning around saying, "Hey, I got the balloon."
yeah, I was quite shocked, man. That came out pretty good. Like she was way up there.
Oh yeah.
I shot that with a 400, I was shooting at it about 600 millimeters. So that balloon was way up there.
No, Paul had the right idea. I mean, it was the fact that we were all sharing that same moment together on the planet. Everybody on the path, and the overwhelming effect that knowing that it's beyond our control, and just the magic that, I mean, the three of us know that when we look up at night, we can see such beauty, that's laid out there ahead of us at any time that we want to enjoy it, and all of that activity that we all witnessed, everybody that's on here witnessed. You didn't need anything but your eyeballs. A pair of simple glasses over your eyes to protect yourself. But for the actual totality, we didn't need anything else. No optical aids were required, really. People took lots of photos, but you could sit there and witness this beautiful event, such a rarity all at once, like you said. So to me, there's I don't know how to top it. I have no idea how to top this now. To see, the first time I looked at the moon through a telescope, it was amazing. The first time I saw Saturn's rings through a telescope was amazing. The first globular cluster I saw was amazing. There's nothing that can even come close to it. The only way I can top it is go to another one. Want to keep this longer. So,
gotta do it.
yeah, and I think a lot of people felt the same way. So it's just so nice in all this stuff that we've been through over these last number of years, to be able to sit back and now and say there was a very pleasing experience that we all had a chance to share
You
together.
can only hope that Beetlejuice goes supernova now.
There you go.
That'll top
That
it.
might be the topper. That might be the topper.
So
Anyway, everybody.
I have to read this for Mary King, because Mary's a friend of ours. She's a member of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada. And Mary's worked with us on a number of star parties, and she's just a great gal. Anyway, she writes, experiencing the eclipse was a wonderful thing, but it was also wonderful how you three amigos gave us astronomy information to understand the event and all the safety information, repeatedly, patiently answering often the same questions. Thank you for making the positive community. The world needs more Sunday night astronomy shows.
Wow.
So, thank you very much, Mary.
Yeah.
That is really felt here. Thank you. We really appreciate that.
Wow.
No more Sunday night, maybe a Saturday night show, but not a Sunday night show. That's fine. That's our spot.
True.
Thank you, Gary. Very nice. Okay, well, that's our show then for this evening. We hope you enjoyed the program tonight. Next week, we're back to one of our normal programs. We're not sure what we're going to talk about, but we usually come up with it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Special thanks goes out to Rosanna, of course, for her fabulous fun facts. Rosanna, thank you again. Polar vortex. I don't want to think about polar vortexes right now. No, we're heading the other. To all of you who share the program out there for us, we who shared, including Trudy, who shares about 100,000 spots. I don't know. She got it out there everywhere. Of course. Thank you, Trudy. And remember too, we do love getting your photos, so send them into astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to put them on our next broadcast. I have some from tonight that I was going to share, but we ran out of time, so I'll save them for next week. Special thanks again to all the folks at Rogers for joining us this evening. So until next week, everybody, wishing you all clear skies. As we'd like to say, guys, open your eyes to view the skies and keep your scopes. Point it up. That's it. And give me a second, and I'll try to share this video.
Share your audio first this time.
Share the audio first. Okay, here we go again. Now, give me a second. It takes me a second. Look, I'm still in Eclipse mode, so just let me.
That's all right.
Allow
You're
me to
not.
calm down.
You're still working in the dark.
Working in the dark. That's what I have been for a while, so just leave that part. Then here it goes again. Hang on, I can't get that right. Hang on. I'll try one more time. We'll get us out of here in a minute. No, go again.
No, yep, no, yep,
Let's try again.
Yep, no. Like those puppets on the Muppets say, yep, nope.
We're trying to say goodnight. Let's see if this works. Okay, here we go. Good night, everybody.
And I
I'll move another video, but it's there.